Hey guys, Simon here from Top Tennis Training and welcome to episode number 4 of The Lab. This is where you send us your videos and we analyze your strokes and your tennis game. So in today's episode, we're going to take a look at Noah. He's 14 years old and he wants more power and a more vicious backhand. So let's take a look at the video and see if we can help him out. So the first thing that I want to talk about on Noah's backhand is the starting position of the racket face. So as you can see that the strings are facing up to the sky as such when he starts his preparation. Now, is this an issue later in the swing? Probably not. But the thing that I always go back to is, will you get a benefit from doing this at the start? And the answer is no. So why not then just start off with the racket neutral, because that's what you're going to have around the neutral position at contact. Such as a Djokovic. Djokovic will start out here, and Djokovic does close the strings in the starting position, but when he reaches that back position, which is the main part of the stroke for me prior to the contact point, this position here, which is also called the power position on every stroke, when you're in that position, you'll see that Djokovic's strings are facing to the left side of the court. Now, he doesn't have his strings like this or like this in that back position. Agassi, he has his strings facing the side of the court. So most of the great double-handed backhands, they have that similar position when they're waiting. The side of the racket they're going to hit the ball with is facing to the left side of the court if they're a right-handed player. So Noah, the first thing I would do is get you starting off with your racket in this position instead of like this, and when you're starting that preparation, get back as quickly as you can to that power position. Don't waste any time by opening the strings and then getting back here late. Get back as quickly as you can as soon as you see it's a backhand. So you're waiting, you see it's a backhand, get this racket back in that power position. That will help two things. That will really help the preparation, and if you are late, even if you hit the ball slightly late, the string's already set, so you don't have to worry about hitting the ball. If I start like this and the ball comes quicker than I anticipated and I make contact somewhere back here, that ball's flying out into the back fence. So I really want to have the string set from that foundation. Now on the forehand this is different because we have more freedom with the forehand, but on the two-handed backhand or the one-handed backhand, we really want to set the strings facing the direction we're going to hit the ball as early as we can. So we don't want to have too much going on with the strings going this way or going this way. There isn't time for that, and especially as Noah gets older, he's going to be playing against players who have a bigger game. You won't have time to do this and then get back to here and then set up for a good shot. So get this fixed as quickly as you can. Work on the feed from, maybe have a coach or your parent feeding from close, and all you're working on is keeping the strings set and you're going back into that power position as such. Now the second major thing that I would do is try to work on the rotational power with the trunks and the hips. Opening up the hips and the trunk during the contact point will do two things. The first thing is it will give you more power because you're using the major muscles. So this is the obliques, the trunk muscles, and you're using the muscles of the legs to rotate around that front foot, which is the right foot if you're a right-handed player. Now the second thing it does, it aids the recovery. Now Noah wants his backhand to be a little bit more deadly, and the thing that I really notice is the lack of rotation in the hips and the legs. So if I was his coach, the first thing I would do after that change with the strings would be then adding the rotational power around the front foot. So if I'm hitting a backhand and I hit my backhand as such and I keep my back leg back, I don't rotate around, this is blocking the rotation of the hips, and it's also stopping me from recovering as quickly as I can. Now if I use this front leg as a pivot, I place that front leg, so my right leg, because I'm right-handed, and just as I make contact, I'm starting that rotation around. Two things this does. It allows me to open up my hips, it allows me to really use my trunk in that shot, and it also aids with the recovery. So if I hit a wide backhand and I stop here, now I have to then push off from this leg to then recover. Whereas if I hit, rotate around, push off from the outside leg, I'm in that recovery position so much quicker. So you really want to work on opening up those hips and opening up the trunk as you make contact on that backhand. There you can see that he's being fed balls quite quickly at a high tempo, and he's just having to do this, which I don't really think is going to help him to get that maximum power. You want to feel that you're using the body to the maximum. So on the serve, I want to be using all the elements of my body for power. On the forehand the same, and on the two-handed backhand it's the same. I want to set up in a good back position, so I want my racket like so, and I want to be using my legs for the rotation, my hips to open up. Now there's a debate whether you have to bring this back leg forward. I'm a huge believer in this, and I think that this is one of the main things that most club players don't do on the two-handed backhand. They'll hit that backhand and they'll stay planted with that back foot. In fact, a lot of coaches still teach that, and I think that's quite an old-fashioned way of teaching the two-handed backhand. I think the future of tennis is going to get faster. You're going to see players coming to the net more. You have to do everything you can to build time on the tennis court. And if this gives me a little bit more time just by bringing that back foot forward, and it also aids with the opening of the hips and the trunk, from here I can then push off from that left leg and I'm back in a perfect position with 1 or 2 crossover steps. Now one of the best ways to work on that rotational power is with using a medicine ball. This is something that really aids that power in the trunk, and you're using the same muscles that you're going to use when you're doing the tennis, and you're using them in an explosive way. So it's the perfect training aid for tennis players, and this is something that I highly recommend for Noah and for anyone who wants more power on their forehand or backhand. And why is the medicine ball so good for a tennis player? Now you're using the muscles in the same way that you're going to be using them when you're playing tennis, and with that ball you have the freedom to go from high to low. You can go at any level you want, whereas with a weight machine you're quite restricted to the actual movement on the weight machine. With that medicine ball I can mimic any stroke I want, and I can do it over and over again, and I can do it in a fast period of time. So I can do 50 backhand throws for instance, and then I can work on my backhand straight after that out on the court. So it's a perfect training aid for tennis players, and it's something that I use a lot with my players. In fact, let's take a look at some of the videos right now. I'm going cross now. Yep. Ah. So thanks for watching the video, guys. Hopefully you like it. If you do, please click that like button. Also leave a comment down below. What would you like to see us cover in the next couple of videos? All the best, guys.
Hi, I'm David Nalbandian, former world number 3.
Hi guys, it's Alex from Top Tennis Training, and today I'm here with David Nalbandian, and he's going to help you with your tennis. David has been former world number 3 and Wimbledon finalist. He's also won the World Tour Finals, so I think his advice will help you a lot. So how do you get more power on the backhand?
To get more power on the back, I think it's all on the rotation. If you want to learn the secret of my backhand, click the button below.